He was asking, can you tell me a story about something traumatic that has happened to you? And I was like, hello there, my name is Dr. Florencia and I'm a licensed psychologist and a relationship coach. In today's video, I'll be discussing why it is important to shush. Like, we really need to shush sometimes. Like, oversharing is not necessary when it comes to dating. So before I go into why that is, I just wanted to share what I do. So I help high achieving modern day women, especially women of color and allies, to change their unfulfilling and unhealthy relationship and dating patterns and provide them with psychological and trauma-informed tools to create the relationships that they desire. So over-explaining is just another trauma response, okay? Over-explaining yourself, oversharing is a trauma response. So when you meet someone, there's literally no need for you to go into detail about all of your experiences and all of your traumas and all of the stuff that's happened to you and all the stuff that's happened to your family. That is, for one, it's overwhelming for anyone, right? I even find it overwhelming as a therapist, let me confess, and I think most therapists can relate to this as well. When a client comes in their first session and they just offload and it just goes on and on and on and on. It can be overwhelming, because a lot of the stuff that they then tend to share can be quite emotive, can be quite triggering, So, like, although yes, we're there to help you work through that, but we're not robots, right? Like, we've got our own experiences, we've got our own bodies, working bodies, okay? So, based on, especially if you are a therapist who have gone through trauma, like I have, trauma does reside in our bodies. So the stuff that, clients can bring into session, that is really, really difficult sometimes to sit through and hold. So if it's difficult for a therapist, it's most certainly is going to be difficult for people who are not trained in psychotherapy or psychology or anything of the sorts, right? So you have to think about that when you do meet someone new who is just trying to suss you out and trying to, see whether you click and whether you get on and whether, your energies are aligned, right? If you come in and just say, oh, I've gone through this and I've gone through that, like, that is just, that doesn't make sense. That is not helpful. How do you create space for someone to just ease themselves in and try and connect with you? And also, by doing that, what you're signaling to them is, I don't know if I'm enough for you. I'm very anxious about what you think of me, and I'm trying my best here, and I really want to make this work, or I'm quite desperate to make this work. It's just that you're gonna abandon me and leave me and all of these things, right? You may not necessarily know this on a conscious level, but on an unconscious level, that is what you're essentially doing. You are desperately seeking connection with that person on the opposite end of the table or whatever it is. That can either do one of two things. It can either repel, like I said, or what I explained just now, about like, oh, this is too much, let me go off in another direction. It might be that they are actually attracted to that and see you as this fixing kind of project, right? Which is also not helpful, not healthy at all. Or another way it could end up in windows of vulnerability, right? That they can store into their own minds and use in attempts to either manipulate you or to win you over or whatever it is, in a very narcissistic and abusive way. Again, it just sets you up for a very unhealthy dynamic. So if you do feel like it is something that you need to work on, it just signals that you need to pay attention to that, and that you need to work on that through talking therapy or through coaching, getting an idea of why it is that you do that, and also to kind of catch yourself when you, or know how to catch yourself when you feel the urge or the desire to overshare. Now, granted, there are also men, in this case, who do ask about a very inappropriate things. Like I can remember some time ago when I was still dating, that I met a guy on one of those dating apps, and we had a really good vibe from the start, and we got on really well. We had a really good conversation, and then I gave my number out, and that's why I don't like to give my number out, people. Before I actually meet the guy in person, gave my number out, and then stuff just started to go downhill. Like, he was asking, can you tell me a story about something traumatic that has happened to you? And I was like, why? Why do you need to know that? That's weird. So you can literally encounter men who will ask you to reveal all of the stuff that's happened to you, but there is no need for that. And really, it's a sign that maybe you need to take a little bit of a step back from this person, or you need to ask, what is it that they're trying to find out about you? Like, what is it that they maybe want to seek to understand? Interrogate it a little bit, and don't just give it away. Don't give that information away, because it takes time to build trust. Like, for you to feel comfortable enough to share, well, normally anyway, when you do work through your trauma responses, and you've got a more balanced view of yourself, it would take a little bit of time to build trust. Trust to share, let them know your story and things. It's important to hold that in mind, that you shouldn't be just trusting. You shouldn't be that trusting of people, or to trust them with very intimate details about your life from the onset. It's just not a good idea. It's just not. And if they do decide to ask, very inappropriate questions, no is a full sentence. Say no. Do you have any other questions? Would you like to know anything else? Yeah. Or just distract him, divert the conversation, and keep moving. Just say no, I'm good. How about you? If they want to share, fine, let them share. But you don't need to do that. You don't need to put yourself in a position like that. I'm giving you permission to disengage. Just disengage. So I hope that was helpful. It's a bit of a heavy yet light-hearted one. But yeah, I hope it was helpful. Let me know your takeaways from that. Do you have difficulties with oversharing? Do you find yourself oversharing? Do you find yourself, anxious in the beginning stages, and therefore you catch yourself maybe trusting a bit too easily, or doing things that maybe in the back of your mind you knew, or that you shouldn't really be doing? Is that you? Let me know in the comments, okay? Let me know in the comments. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a chat about that. Now, on another note, I've got a freebie for you. It's called the Power of Pause Workbook. And basically what that does is a partner compatibility assessment. So whether you are dating, whether you are in relationship, or you're seeing someone new for a while, and you're thinking, I've noticed some behaviors that I don't really like, but I don't really know how I feel about it. But something in my gut is telling me that something is off here, but I'm not quite sure. Then this workbook is for you. So all you need to do is go to the website, so powerofpause.info/workbook, and then all you have to do is put in your name and your email so I can ping it over to you. And just complete the different steps. So it's got 4 steps that I will guide you through. It should be an engaging exercise to do, and it will get you to explore your current circumstances, kind of get you thinking about things differently, but also what it is that that you're going to do, right? Once you have come to some kind of realization, what are the appropriate next steps for you? And let me know how it works for you. That release anything, just let me know. Take a screenshot of it, send it over to me. I would love to see it. And again, let's have a chat. Okay? So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.